Hi friends, welcome back to my channel Nipendra's tutorial. Today I will be explaining a crucial topic from the class 10 science curriculum. Let's get started and understand it thoroughly. My today's topic is life process. So let's start and understand what is the meaning of life process. Okay. So we know that the processes which maintain our body functions, which one is very necessary for our survival. Okay. So these are known as life processes. That means the the number of chemical reactions that keep the living organism alive are also known as life process. So which are the components necessary for maintaining the life processes? These are: one is nutrition, excretion, respiration and transpiration. These are the four topics which one is very much essential for life processes. Okay. So let explain what is the meaning of nutrition. So our first topic is nutrition. Okay. So nutrition is a one kind of process, okay, by which an organism obtains nutrients from food what you ingest, okay, and these nutrients utilizes them to obtain energy and for building the body and also repair their damaged body parts, that means tissues. Okay. So one important word I mention here, nutrients. Okay. So what are the nutrients? So nutrients are defined as substances which are required for growth and maintenance of a living body. That is the material which provide energy to an organism, like carbohydrate, vitamins, proteins, minerals, fats, proteins. These are the nutrients. Okay, clear? Now, modes of nutrition. We already know that nutrition have two modes. One is autotrophic mode of nutrition and another is heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay. Now, we are going to explain the meaning of autotrophic mode of nutrition. So, what is the meaning of autotrophic nutrition? The mode of nutrition in which organisms synthesize their own food from simple inorganic substances like carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight is called autotrophic mode of nutrition. And the organisms who shows autotrophic mode of nutrition, they are known as autotrophs. So, what kind of organisms, which type of organisms showing or shows autotrophic mode of nutrition? All green plants and some kinds of bacteria like cyanobacteria, they shows autotrophic mode of nutrition. One important thing that here I mention carbohydrate. You can remove that carbohydrate to carbon dioxide, okay, because it is mistakenly done. Clear? So you can write here carbon dioxide instead of carbohydrate. Now we are going to understand how autotrophs prepare their own food. So we already learned in our previous classes that autotrophs, that means plants, all green plants, they're showing photosynthesis process. Okay, they're showing photosynthesis process. So what is the meaning of photosynthesis process? The process by which the green plants prepare their own food with the help of carbon dioxide, water, sunlight, and they can produce glucose, oxygen and water molecules. Okay, and that process is known as photosynthesis process. Let's see the chemical equation of photosynthesis process. You can see there 6 molecules of carbon dioxide. Okay, see there 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, clear, here combine with the water molecules with the help of sunlight and the chlorophyll. Okay, what they produce? They produce glucose, 1 molecule of glucose, 6 molecule of oxygen and 6 molecule of water. Clear? So you can notice that the number of carbon dioxide used in a chemical reaction, and similar number of oxygen is released by the process of chemical reaction of photosynthesis process. So what is the raw materials are used in the photosynthesis? We know that here carbon dioxide and water, these two are the raw materials for photosynthesis. Okay, so what is the end products of the photosynthesis? End products, that means which one is released by the process of photosynthesis, or which one is formed by the process of photosynthesis. These are known as glucose, oxygen. Okay, these are the end products of the photosynthesis. So what is the necessary condition for the photosynthesis? See, the necessary conditions for the photosynthesis is sunlight, okay, and the chlorophyll. Chlorophyll trap the solar energy, okay, which one is very much essential for the photosynthesis process. Now the site of photosynthesis, that means where the photosynthesis takes place. So photosynthesis takes place in the chloroplast. So what is the meaning of chloroplast? Chloroplast is one kind of organelle, cell organelle in the cells of green plants, okay, which contains chlorophyll, are called chloroplast. So what is chlorophyll? Chlorophyll is a photosynthetic pigment, that means the green color pigment who trap the solar energy and convert the solar energy into chemical energy. Okay, so you can also try to draw the cross section of leaf and you can understand each and every word properly. Now we are going to understand actually what is the stomata. So we know that the numerous tiny pores present on the upper surface of the leaf, okay, upper surface of the leaf, these are known as stomata. See there, these are known as stomata. Clear? So what is the function of the stomata? The gaseous exchange takes place through the stomata. That means the carbon dioxide is entered through the stomata, okay, and the oxygen is released. Oxygen is released through the stomata. Clear? And another function stomata have, that means the excess water of the plant's body they can remove with the help of stomata. Now try to understand how the stomata is open and close. Okay, the opening and closing of stomata are an important event in the photosynthesis process. Okay, because we know that along with the gaseous exchange, the excess water of the plant's body removed by the process of transpiration, okay, through the stomata. So plants close stomata when they do not need carbon dioxide, okay, and when they want to conserve the water, during that time they close the stomata. Clear? And the opening and closing of the stomata is guarded by two bean-shaped structure guard cell. See the guard cell. See the guard cell. These are the guard cell. Okay. So the opening and closing of stomata are caused by the change in the targetity of the guard cells. Clear? That means the guard cells are bean-shaped cells that frame the stomatal opening. They contain chloroplast and have cell wall. See there, lots of chloroplast are present there. See there, here I also mentioned lots of chloroplast are present on the guard cells of the stomata. A plant cell is said to be target when it is fully inflated with water. That means when the water enters into guard cell, it swells up. At that time it is open, and you consider that the stomata is open. When guard cells are target, stomatal pore open, and when guard cell loses water, that means when guard cell loses water, at that time the stomatal pore close. So we already covered the full topic of autotrophic mode of nutrition. Now I am going to explain the another mode of nutrition, that means heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay. So in a heterotrophic mode of nutrition, organisms cannot prepare their own food because they directly or indirectly depend on the green plants for their survival. Heterotrophic mode of nutrition are of three main types. Okay, first one is the holozoic mode of nutrition. See there, holozoic mode of nutrition. Second one is the saprophytic nutrition, and the third one is the parasitic nutrition. See the parasitic nutrition. Clear? So what kind of organisms are fall under the holozoic mode of nutrition? So see the herbivores. Herbivores means plant eaters who consume the plants for their survival, like cow, goat. These are the herbivores. Then see there meat eaters, that means carnivores, who consume the flesh of animals or meat. Okay, these are known as carnivores. And omnivores, we are also considered to be omnivores because both plant and meat we can consume. Along with human being, dog and cat also considered to be the omnivores. Okay, so what is present in the holozoic mode of nutrition? In this type of nutrition, complex food molecules are taken in and then broken down into simpler and soluble molecules. Okay, these are known as holozoic type of nutrition. Then saprotrophic nutrition or saprophytic nutrition. Okay, so saprotrophs are the organism who shows saprotrophic mode of nutrition. So who is saprotrophs? Saprotrophs are the organism which feed upon dead and decaying matter. They also stay on the body of dead and decaying matter, and they consume their body parts, and they break down their complex material outside the body and then absorb it. Okay, so who are fall in the saprotrophic nutrition? That means who are the saprotrophs? Fungi like bread mold. See the bread mold, mushrooms, yeast, and bacteria. These are falling under the saprotrophic mode of nutrition. That means they are saprotrophs. Next, parasitic mode of nutrition. Parasites are the organisms having parasitic nutrition. They stay on the body of the host, maybe internally or externally, but they are not prepare their own food because they collect the nutrients from the body of the host. Okay, they are known as parasites, and their mode of nutrition are known as parasitic type of nutrition. So some examples of parasitic mode of nutrition are like Plasmodium. We know that the malarial parasite. Okay, ticks, lice, leech, tapeworm, okay, flatworm, and Cascuta, one type of plants. These are shows parasitic mode of nutrition. So we also know that parasitic mode of nutrition are of two types. That means two types of parasites are there. One is ectoparasites. You can see they are ectoparasites. So I mentioned lots of picture with their name. Okay, these are ecto because they are present outside of the body of the host. Okay, or they collect their nutrients from the outside of the body of the host, like mosquitoes, fleas, ticks, lice, bedbugs, mites. Okay, botflies, sandflies. These are the examples of ectoparasites. Similarly, we can see there are lots of endoparasites. Okay, endo means which one is present inside of the body of the host, like hookworm, roundworm, tapeworm, okay, whipworm, okay, coccia. These are the endoparasites. So we cover all the topic of autotrophic and heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Now we can distinguish between the autotrophic mode of nutrition and heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So you can see there the difference also mentioned here. Okay, you just go through the concepts and you can distinguish it very easily. Okay, so let's see what is the differences between autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. So autotrophic nutrition, it occurs in green plants. We know that all green plants are known as autotrophs, and they are showing autotrophic mode of nutrition. And some bacteria also, and some protista also, they are showing autotrophic mode of nutrition. But heterotrophic mode of nutrition occurs only in fungi and some animals. Clear? Number 2 point is, in autotrophic mode of nutrition, chlorophyll is essential for trapping solar energy. But in heterotrophic mode of nutrition, because their chlorophyll is not present, they are not trap the solar energy, they are not able to prepare their own food. Clear? Number 3 is, food is self-manufactured. That means they are autotrophs, they prepare their own food using carbon dioxide and water as raw materials. But in heterotrophic mode of nutrition, food is obtained directly or indirectly by heterotrophs from autotrophs. Okay? Number 4, digestion of food does not occur. During the autotrophic mode of nutrition, no digestion takes place because no digestive organs are present on the body of autotrophs. Okay, so digestion is required to convert complex organic substances present in food into simpler and soluble forms. Last number, they are placed at the bottom of the food chain as producer, because in a food chain, producer present at the bottom of the food chain, then primary consumer, then secondary consumer, then tertiary consumer, then apex consumer. But in heterotrophic mode of nutrition, they are placed above the producers in the middle of the food chain as consumers. Clear? So dear friends, today I completely covered the concept of autotrophic and heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So dear friends, please like, share and subscribe my channel for more content, and please support me guys, because your support will motivate me to create more valuable contents. Thank you.